Hi there, it's Kate. Welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to talk briefly about my plans for Nonfiction November, if they can be called plans. So I've alluded to this in other videos. There is a possible very large life change happening in our family. Maybe, maybe not, we don't know. We will find out next week whether or not our entire lives are changing. But right now we're still kind of in a holding pattern, so I don't know if I will be able to read it all in the next few weeks. I don't know, but here's what I have planned to at least read some of, and if I can get to more, that's great. If I can finish any of these, I will be super happy. I've been loving reading nonfiction in the last few months, so I've really been looking forward to Nonfiction November. I pulled a whole stack of nonfiction books, but I figured anything that I talk about, I'm probably not going to want to read after that, so I didn't want to talk about too many books because that's the way my brain works. As soon as I make the plan, then my brain stops wanting to do it. So going from kind of least excited to most excited, or least likely to most likely, that I'm going to get through. This is the biography of L. Frank Baum, and so I think I've talked about this before. My daughter, my oldest daughter, is, I think, obsessed is reasonable to say. She really loves The Wizard of Oz. We've read the physical book, at least 8 times. And I think the only reason we stopped reading it is because I kind of put it up on a shelf where she can't see it, so she doesn't ask for it anymore. But every time we get in the car, we listen to the audiobook of The Wizard of Oz, which, by the way, on Audible is narrated by Anne Hathaway and is amazingly fantastic. She does a really great job. So if you are looking for a great kid-friendly audiobook, I definitely recommend The Wizard of Oz. But anyways, because we've listened to it and read it so many times and basically have the book memorized at this point, I'm excited to read the biography of L. Frank Baum and get a little bit more insight into the book itself and kind of where it came from. I also have, I think it's ready to pick up at the library on hold right now, the annotated Wizard of Oz, which I also think is going to be really, really interesting. So I'm excited for those two things. Next, most exciting to me, or that I've already actually started, is Looking for Lorraine, The Radiant and Radical Life of Lorraine Hansberry by Imani. So this is the biography of the playwright who wrote A Raisin in the Sun. And like I said, I've already started it, and I think I talked about this last week. It's a really interesting biography. I really am enjoying it, but I kind of put it aside knowing that Nonfiction November was coming, so I'm really looking forward to picking this back up, and it's a short one, so I'm hoping to get through more of this. And then finally, the book that I am most excited about, and I'm actually doing a buddy read on this one. This is Hannah Arendt's The Origins of Totalitarianism, and I will be buddy reading this with Charlotte of Tired Mama Tries to Read, which is really super exciting. I have been, I've read parts of it. I don't know that you can study Latin America during the Cold War without being at least passingly familiar with Hannah Arendt. So I have some familiarity, but I've been wanting to kind of deep dive into this book more and more since, I don't know, things have been changing politically in not just this country but the world, and I think that Hannah Arendt is one of those writers that can give us a lot of information that we can then use in our lives. So I'm excited to dive into this, and then I'm hoping to talk more about the things that I'm reading and my thoughts and reflections on the book as well. It would also be really exciting if I can, and this is more than just in November, but I would love to read more about Hannah Arendt herself and learn more about her, because I know that there's a lot of, that she's very paradoxical, perhaps, as an individual. So I think that having insight into her would help me learn more about her writing, and I'm excited to be able to apply some of these learnings, or at least use them to understand the world around me perhaps more readily. So those are my plans for November. Plans kind of in loose quotation marks. I've also have a shelf full of fiction from the library that I am excited to read as well. So we'll see. Like I said, next week is still going to be kind of up in the air, and who knows? Who knows? I like to try not to make too many plans with my reading and just let it go where it takes me, and that's where the fun is for me. So let me know if you are going to be reading anything for Nonfiction November. I would love to hear about it. I think that the Nonfiction November TBR videos are probably the most, for me, they're the ones that I've been watching the most over this whole year. I often don't watch TBR videos as much, just because the creator hasn't actually read the books yet, so I'm not sure what they have to say. They haven't read it yet, so I'm more interested in their reviews of the books. But these TBRs are so interesting because they're more varied than normal TBRs are. So I'd love to hear or see yours if you have one. Other than that, I will see you later. Bye now.